I was thinking that it is really a challenge and it's really hard sometimes to like let people um do and say things that you know are wrong, like just blatantly wrong, and you know that they're just out of line in so many different ways. I've been having some really just ridiculous experiences with um, a particular person lately that's clearly just, being ridiculous. Um, Taking stuff personal that they shouldn't be taking personal, turning business manners or matters into a personal experience, completely inappropriate, right? But really is just God showing me the devil, Satan himself, working through this person, which is would make sense why he's taken something personal that shouldn't be. Um, so even though, it doesn't make sense, it does make sense from a spiritual perspective. But the person is just out of line. They're doing way too much. They're just basically demonstrating how poor of a character they have. No morals, no nothing. And this is an older person, like much older than me. So it's quite shocking, although I know, there's no discrimination in who Satan uses and who he influences. It's just like, wow. But what I've been learning through this experience is how much I've grown as a person, and I'm really proud of myself. Um, I'm really proud because, years ago, I would have kind of probably responded differently. I would have been emotional. I would have, felt like I need to say what I need to say, and I need to put my feelings out there. And you know how we are when we feel like we're being wrong. We feel like we have to fight for ourselves because who's gonna do it for us? But now, fast forward into the future, God fights for me, and how much more at peace I am knowing that God fights for me and that I don't have to waste my time and my day on stupidity and people who are just utterly ridiculous, and they probably won't change. Maybe they will, but probably not. It is such a blessing. So, don't let these people make you feel like you need to put all of your time, your energy, your effort. And honestly, a lot of the times, because you're dealing with some type of demonic, devilish narcissist, you don't need to let them know how you feel about anything. You don't need to. That's almost like the worst thing you could do when you're dealing with a demonic narcissist, right? Because they don't have conversations. They don't listen to understand and to be reasonable and to, just be a normal human being. They listen to attack. They listen to insult. They listen to twist. They listen to turn stuff upside down, whatever. So don't waste your time when you're dealing with someone who's just weird and they're just, you're like, I don't know what's going on with them. Well, yeah, it's some type of a satanic demonic spirit. Don't give them your emotions and don't let them know how you feel. You know what I mean? And this person is so funny, right? Because like I said a while ago or years ago, I wouldn't have handled the situation properly, even if I did, even if it was just as simple as letting them know how I felt. Sometimes that's actually not the right thing to do. It sounds like it, and that's what we're used to, and that's what we're taught. But when God is leading and you are actually okay with being the passenger, or you're actually okay with being, in the background, you look at it differently. You don't feel like that. I'm not offended by you. You don't have that power. You know, they want to know that they still have that power. They want to drive out that emotion in you. They want to see you riled up. They want to get you out of your, you know, out of that peace that you have found within Jesus Christ. And I just think it's funny that you can't do it. You can't do it. Why? Because you're not a priority to me. Besides the fact that I know that you're twisted, you're a liar, you have psychological issues. I mean, you got to know who you're dealing with and who you're talking to, right? Why would I have a regular conversation, a reasonable, intelligible conversation with somebody who isn't right in the head or in the spirit? It would prove to be completely worthless, right? I've learned my lesson. So I just wanted to share that because it almost makes me laugh. Like, they're annoying and they do things that just, you'd be like, oh man, God, you know? But be slow to anger. Be slow to anger, because the devil and the enemy, he loves seeing God's people get mad. So don't get mad. Get glad. Right. I just wanted to share that, though. I hope that helps someone if you're dealing with some nuisance or somebody that is, you can clearly see is just trying you so bad. There's a reason why they are. So don't let them get to you. All right. All right. I love everybody. Have a wonderful week and God bless you all. Bye.